Thank you, Chair. I rise in support of the motion, and I know it's a controversial issue. We're in difficult times, and we're all aware of what our taxpayers expect of us. This organisation, in my view, plays a vital role. We have heard that today from the number of speakers that we've had. We have heard the good work that the staff have undertaken. There is more to come, I know, in that sector. Many of us here have sat for many years and willed and wished for this body to go forward to represent the sector. Now, to do that properly requires finance. We have already heard about some of the difficulties we've had. If we continue to bury our head in the sand, and I know the difficulties, I know in my own council the sort of difficulties that our members will have. It's our job to persuade them that this is a worthwhile organisation. This modest increase, I think, will do that. It will safeguard the future of the organisation. Where will we be if we don't do this? That is the question. Where will this take us if we don't do it? And we continue to put off these sorts of issues for years to come. We have to be responsible. It is an extremely modest increase, notwithstanding some of the difficulties that have been expressed passionately here. We have a duty to ensure this body, which we are proud of. We are proud of the work that we do in this sector, and we should be proud of this body, and we should go forward with this modest increase, and hopefully we can have some of the answers then that we've asked in this conference. And I would like to move that we support this motion. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Bill.
There's no amendment. This organisation represents us, and if we don't have the financial clout to carry on, then who else will represent us? You'll have to look for something else or go back to wherever we came from before. But I would like to put a point of view to you that quite possibly the National Executive should consider asking every clerk of every council to write to the Minister to have a proper increase in our grant that is sufficient for us to carry out our work, because more is expected of us now for less. And it is about time that they stop treating this organisation as a Cinderella organisation. It is about time they began to finance the organisation according to the responsibilities they want to give to us and to every council. I take the point made by Hugh that we are under the inflation, and I think that everybody should look at that and think, yes, that's a good thing, because we haven't gone up to 2.9, it's 2%. And of course every council has an opportunity when they set their precept to increase it slightly if they are in trouble financially. So there are things that we can do, but I would hope that every clerk can be asked to write to the Minister to increase our grant. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill.
I'm from Connecticut Town Council, by the way.
There's a gentleman over there from Cardiff.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Obviously, I've listened to what I said. Living in Swansea, the A&E service for Neath Talbot and Llanelli, it looks like now is going to be coming from Morriston. We already know full well what is going on there in terms of the length of time that people are having to wait to be seen there. All that's going to happen now is the system is going to get exacerbated. I've had a fair degree of contact with AMBU over the last 4 or 5 years, and more I am very unhappy in terms of whether they have the capability as a board to actually run these services. It is important that they consult. It's important that they hear from the people for whom they're providing the service, where they're failing down, where they need to be making improvements. So please, yes, I'm very happy to support this motion.
Dr. Clive Morgan, Radder and Morganstown Community Council. I support the motion fairly unequivocally, but I would make the point in terms of the Chief Executive and his colleagues will be taking forward this motion if it's passed, that these changes are based both on money saving, but they're also based on trying to put together a sustainable, a safe and a doable service in the Principality. There are a lot of difficulties across healthcare in Wales at the moment, and whilst arguably what they're trying to do is going to make it worse, there does have to be some degree of give and take in realising that the most specialist services cannot be provided in every corner of the Principality. Now, I'm obviously in Cardiff, where we are very lucky in terms of our provision. Although I would also add that at the moment there's some very interesting discussion about a lack of viability of A&E units in Cardiff, when in fact matters should be going across, patients should be going across to Bristol. So whilst that's unlikely to happen, that has been said. So I support the motion, but it obviously needs to be realistic and considered. I'm sure the Chief Executive and his staff and the way they deal with this. So in order to get what you want and what's appropriate, there will have to be give and take in listening to the real arguments. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The Assembly grant is shown for 2012 at 83,000 and at the same figure for 2013-14. Yet we've heard on a number of occasions that grant is falling. Second part is we're talking of a 2% increase. I can't recall what our council's membership fee is, but let's say it's £500 a year. A 2% increase, you're talking £10 a year. Let's keep things in a sense of proportion and support the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I can't see anybody else waving at me, so I will move to a vote. Can I remind you that because it is a matter for membership and finance, that we have to have a 2/3 majority. So can you please, those in favour, can you please show? Okay, those against? I think that is carried. But thank you very much indeed for your confidence.